Okay, welcome back to my series on renovating my apartment at Avalon Zelena. In this presentation, we'll cover the closets and the shelves. So this is where it is on the project plan here, number 20, closets, shelves, and cabinets. I mean, you could do this earlier, before the move-in phase, but it is quite extensive and it takes a long time to order things, and it's probably better to have this done after move in so you don't postpone, because there can be delays. I can tell you that. In this age of COVID and everything, Ruslan, who makes the closets and cabinets, he got the virus and he was pretty sick and he was out for 6 weeks. And if I would have scheduled it in here and held up something else, it would have delayed my move in. So it's better to do this post move in, rough in all the fittings or place you can, the drywalling and everything, rough that in, and then just plan it out to be done, later in the project. I mean, ideally you could do it here after the floors go in, and before the interior doors, and the baseboards. You could do it there, um, but it's a better idea to wait a little bit in this reality, in the reality we're living in. But the project is all done. I reopened the crown molding because there was a detail. I'll talk about that later. We need one more piece of crown molding and two pieces of baseboard, after the cabinets went in. So there is a little bit of a rework required there. Uh, it happens, but it's very, very minor, as you'll see. I mean, life can go on. So I'll go to the next slide here. So we'll first talk about the living room shelves, then the entry closet, and then the bedroom closet. So in the living room, we planned a stand for mainly the TV would be the centerpiece, and we had some like shelves and some little bit storage cabinets, to hide things. There's no shortage of storage space, because there's no shortage of things that you need to put away. So this is good to have as much ample storage as you can. If I would have done anything, I would have actually probably raised this up so these bottom cabinets could be a little bit bigger to hide a small vacuum cleaner. I might be able to get a vacuum cleaner in there, and make it like a little vacuum cleaner closet or something. But or I would have brought this top one down a little bit. But it's still, you'll see, it looks fine. It's hard to visualize these things in advance sometimes, especially when you're doing this project remote control. And it's nice to have a professional designer because she takes into account what the electrical plugins are and gets the measurements done so that it's not cutting, the shelf is not cutting right through with halfway through the outlets. So yeah, that's the schematic for the shelf, and this is what it looked like when it was finally finished or almost finished. They just had one more door to go, but it gives you an idea of like the space inside there for storage. You could use it for pillows for the sofa, or books or something. I think I'm going to put my photo albums there when I get those down from Norway. You know, um, so yeah, and if you need to childproof it or anything, just leave it empty and put everything up top side here. But you can see they missed a detail, and they had to come back and do it. And that was basically just a gangway to get the wires, because the rest of the outlets were here. So it was planned, but they had to cut it. So then they came back and they cut this. I sent them this picture. I need this, and they came back and they cut and made a very nice passage for the wires. It was a very good job. And this is what it looks like when it's all finished and decorated. I got my elephant collection and my George Jensen candle holders. I think I'll get one more next time I'm in Norway. I think there's some used ones on the Norwegian website called fin.no. It's like the OLX of Norway. So, but if anyone's got a George Jensen candle holder for sale, the medium, I'm particularly looking for the medium or large size. I'd be very interested in having it. So let me know. Um, so yeah, it turned out very good. No complaints. This was the first cabinet to go in, and I think in the videos, the walkthroughs you've seen, I'd had been using this for quite some time. So, and this was probably the easiest one to do, because it's just shelves more or less with some doors. Now the entry closet was a little bit more complicated. We had to really optimize the space. So Yarina came with this proposal, and the outlets. We have power outlets, and we have water heating in the back, and I think this is like the some other wiring connection. It's now covered up. Uh, it says for LED, so that might have been a power outlet for the LED lights. And so it's a closet, so you want to visualize how you're going to hang things and how you're going to place the clothes and everything. I think we ended up only getting two of these because if three things would have been too close together. It wouldn't have been a good idea. But she very carefully measured it. We got the doors planned. But I returned these changes. I wanted to, put an extra shelf here and extra shelf here, so I had some more shelving because I don't have that many really tall things to stash in here. And then this is where I'm hanging my coats and keeping some cleaning supplies and buckets and what have you. And then I asked for a shoe organizer to go here, so multi-level shoe organizer. Even though we have shoes will go under here, we wanted to have some more shoes because you have winter shoes and summer shoes. So I think mostly these shelves will be filled up with like winter, summer type clothing, and hang some coats here, and then this so when you hang the coats facing you instead of to the side, they kind of face you because the closet doesn't go deep, but it's wide. But it was a very good use of space. So this is what she returned back, the finalized drawing showing more shelving. And then, we have some LED lights. That's what these dots are. And then we have the shoe rack. And then this is to show the electrical, access way to the electrical outlet. So that was all done very good. I got they delivered these boxes of, like IKEA shelves. And then the next day they come and they put it all together. It was really nice. But there's a here I want to get another little piece of baseboard here, make a little bend and cover this up. I'm not little, and then there's a gap here too that I want baseboarded in, so it's consistent with the rest of the floor. So, but this is minor. This is something that can be done on a Saturday afternoon. Uh, it shouldn't be hard at all. Mainly, I think if they can paint it in advance, and then they can just use some caulk and silicone and just glue it down. Measure twice, cut once, type of thing. And this is how it looks on the inside. And then you can see the shoes go under here, so you save yourself opening and closing the doors. If you're grabbing shoes, you don't have to open the door every time, and you save. Over the long run, this will save the hinges and save the cabinets and save the wear and tear. So I thought that was very clever. I'll just go back. You can see the shoes are just here. So you just grab them and throw them underneath. I like this. I hadn't seen this before, but I'm already liking it. It just saves a lot of hassle. And then I'm trying to figure out, I got a bucket here and a bucket here. So I'm trying to figure out how to organize this a little bit better. This bucket's kind of big. Uh, so I don't know, like it's always a challenge in a smaller apartment, where to put the cleaning supplies, because cleaning is a big consideration. But you can see we got our little extra shelves here. So I got my push-up bars, and we got space here for, I don't know, winter gear. Put the iron here. I have a pillow here, so more shoes will go here. And so it's turned out really well, and you can see there's two of these forward-looking hangers. I should put a coat here or something to show you an example, but basically it will face you. The coat will face you. Instead of being to the side, it'll be to the front, and it'll just kind of overlap. Like one will be here and then one will be here, kind of like alternating. So you can probably fit like 3 or 4 coats there, and then you can fit 2 or 3 here, I think. So that way you have something for all the seasons. Okay, so that's enough of the hall closet. And then this is the bedroom. This was the initial proposal to have the mirrors only halfway down and then have like a piece of woodwork here and then some more of these squares and then hanging clothes here and then there's some organizer here. And then, we have like these nice drawers here and everything. So it was pretty close. I mean, the only thing I really wanted was that the mirrors go all the way down. So I gave her this example, and then I just to make it clear, you cannot over communicate. When you're working remote, you should always over communicate and make everything double clear, triple clear. So I just put, I wanted the mirror to look like this, um, and take off these designs, and this should go to the floor, and I just showed an example of like a white cabinet, somewhere else. And so I sent this back. I just used PowerPoint to mark it up, and I just gave my comments and basically extend the mirrors to the ground. I was happy with the inside work, the inside work of the cabinets. And then she returned this, and we have LED light going across the top. So when you open the doors, the LED comes on. I'll tell you, these LEDs are really, really wonderful. It's probably one of the, I guess the guys who invented it got a Nobel Prize. But they don't use a whole lot of energy, and there's so many more things you can do, and they don't heat up. So, I imagine if you had like light bulbs in the closet and all of this, you have heat issues, and then the bulbs burn out, and it's LED is just all around better, and they keep getting better. So I imagine I can have this changed out to a more warmer light because they're a little bit white. The lighting is a little bit white and crisp, but I've seen some newer LEDs now where they have a more warm type of look. But this is how the closet came, again, like an IKEA shipment. Just stuff everywhere. And then they came the next day. By the way, I took off this door stopper and just used a bag. There's like these little bag door stoppers you can buy at IKEA or JISC or any of these stores, so that way it's not a toe stub, because this was kind of a toe stub hazard. So I took this off and used, this, it's like a little, I would say it's like the size of a lunch bag, and it's kind of filled with sand, and it stops the door, because you don't want the door going all the way, banging everything. So, and that way if you kick your toe into it, it doesn't hurt. And they have those things also shaped like llamas and, whatever else. I mean, it's a whole new industry. So here's, I think Ruslan. Yeah, this is Ruslan, the cabinet maker, taking a picture after the installation. But we're missing this crown molding here, and this is why I reopened that project. So I have to get Yarina back here because they didn't want to put this in until after the cabinets were in, because if it was off just by a little bit, it would show. So because there's like some millimeters here where the cabinets have to be adjusted. So now we can put this molding, and there's a technique called coping, where they'll cut this joining piece. They'll cut it exactly to match the outline of this piece, and then and on this side as well, and it fits right in. And there's a technique for that. And you need a very skilled guy to do this. And then I'll probably have to have this all taped up, and there'll be some painting going on and putty work, and then the painting to get it to all match and sync. So I think that and doing the baseboards there, that's probably, like I say, a 4 to 5 hour job. Those two baseboard pieces are probably 10, 20 minutes, and then the rest of this is probably I'm not sure how long, if they have a tool or a jig or something, or he has to hand measure and trace it and cut it very delicately, but I imagine it's an afternoon worth of work with the painting and putty work, and then he would come back in a day or two to remove all the, because this all has to be covered with, paper and plastic if he's going to be doing painting, protect the floors, protect the furniture. But as you can see, it turned out very nice. It's very simple, but even the mirrors make the room look bigger than it is. It kind of gives an idea of bigger size. And this is what it looks like on the inside. So you can see I can put the box for the vacuum cleaner up there. And this is a nice place to hang some suits or some coats. Again, you cannot have, there's no such thing as too much storage in a small apartment like this. So you have to just be clever how you engineer it. But it's just like engineering how to use space on a space shuttle or on a space capsule. So every inch counts. So I'm eventually gonna, I've got some blankets here and stuff, but I'm eventually gonna organize this better. Once I've lived here, I can do a little bit better on that. And then I have to, like I said, get this gap here closed with some moldings. But this turned out very much like the sketches, she initially did almost 2 years ago. It's September next month, I think next week even. Oh wow, next week is September. So it was September 2019 I took possession of the apartment, I believe. I got possession of the apartment in September 2019. Now it's 2021. So with the pandemic, and I moved in around November 2020, and so yeah, about a year after moving in, and there'll be two more videos to follow. It took about a year after moving in to get everything completely done, but we had a lot of setback with COVID, and Yarina got sick and Ruslan got sick. I mean, everyone on the team got sick and was affected, and had some downtime, and then we had lockdowns. So I think it went okay. It's a bit long. It's a bit long, but I think the project went okay more or less. And as you can see, I can help you with design and build, offer consulting, project management. You really have to have good project management when you do something like this. Break everything down into digestible bits, where there's a definite start and stop. So if there's a pause, you're not having to do rework or tear something out again and start over. So this project plan is definitely designed that way, to just be done in small pieces, when the time or money is available. And that's the way you have to approach this, especially in Ukraine during this era. If you have any questions or anything, just write me on this email here, and or drop me a line in the comments, and I'll get back to you, and we can talk. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.